Hello, students. This is Mrs. Lloyd, and this is me, Mrs. Woodside. We are ecstatic to welcome you to our language arts class. We know that you're used to seeing us in this form, but now that we've gone virtual, these are your teachers. We are so excited to go on this journey with you as we continue learning online. Today, our topic will be the types of expository essays. Our objectives are as follows. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to achieve these 4 points. Firstly, define the term exposition. Secondly, list the different types of expository essays. Thirdly, you're going to explain the characteristics of each of these expository essay types. Lastly, you will explain how the expository essay is different from all of the other essay types we looked at in the previous lesson. But what is expository writing? Simply put, expository writing, with our expository essays, they inform the reader, they explain the idea, they discuss, and they define. The root word of expository is the word expose, and expose means to reveal. So our essays are revealing as we go. Now, let's look at some examples of expository writing. Where can we find this type of writing around us? Instructions, reports, newspapers and newsletters, letters, manuals, and of course, our essays. Wherever we go, whatever we do, we will encounter expository writing. And in all that we need to do, we use expository writing more than any other type. We use this writing when we go to college to write our essays. We use this writing when we are in the world of work. When you are an employee, you'll be writing these reports for your employer. When you are a business owner, you'll be writing expository passages or expository pieces for your clients. Now, let's look at how expository writing, is different from the other types of writing that we've focused on. We know that the narrative tells a story. The expository essay does not. The persuasive essay convinces the reader to do, think, or feel something. The expository writing does not. The expository writing gives information, and you're giving information impartially. Let's do a quick review, and I want you to tell me which topic is expository. Describe an event that you enjoyed of the Easter holiday. No, we see the word describe there, so it tells us it is not expository. Who works harder in the Bahamas, males or females? Support your opinion. No, that's not it either. See the key word there, opinion. And opinion is not what you focus on in your expository writing. 3, what are some ways we can stop people from littering in the Bahamas? Yes, that is our expository essay. You are explaining some strategies to stop people from littering. Let's look at the last one, just in case. End your story with the line, I will never deceive my parents again. No, that's not it either. We see our keyword there, story, so we know that is not expository. Great job, students, in determining which topic is expository. Now, we have 5 types of expository essays that we will explore today. We are just going to touch on each, as we're going to delve into these essays further during the course of this term. We have the how to make or do something essay, the compare or contrast essay, explain an idea, belief, or theory essay, the character portrayal, and the editorial. The how to or process essay, it explains how something is done or explains how to do something. We use our transitional words, firstly, also, secondly, next, finally, in these essays. The compare and contrast essay explains how two or more things are alike and or how they are different. Some vocabulary words we would see for this essay are similarly, in contrast, also, alike, and different. Next, we have the essay where you explain or discuss an idea. This is the most common essay that you are going to write. What you do is you discuss a theory that you have or a belief within the confines of the expository essay. Next, we have our character portrayal. You analyze a character's personality. You focus on things that make him or her unusual, and you talk about specific qualities that the character possesses. Next is the editorial. The editorial explains a topical issue. The writer gives a solution for the situation, and the writer explores what results would happen if you use this suggested solution. Now let's do a quick checkpoint to ensure that you understand the 5 different types of expository essays and their characteristics. We have a how-to essay, which explains how to make or do something step by step. We have our compare and contrast essay, which tells us how two things are alike and or different. Next, we have our character portrayal essay. This essay analyzes the personality traits of a person or a character. The editorial essay analyzes the current issue and suggests how to fix it. Finally, the essay where you explain an idea is where you explore a theory or belief that you have. Now that we're done with our checkpoint, we're going to go into with this activity, you're going to tell me which type of expository essay you would use. Let's start with number 1. Which type of expository essay would you write if you wanted to compare judo and karate? The answer is compare and contrast, and I know that you got it right. Let's look at number 2. Which type of expository essay would you write if you wanted to explain how to build a boat? Excellent again, students. That is a how to make or do something essay. Our third question, which type of expository essay would you write if you wanted to discuss the benefits of regular exercise? And your answer is great job. Once again, you explain an idea, belief, or theory. Which type of essay would you write if you wanted to explain how COVID-19 impacted learning and possible solutions? We see this keyword solutions there. So we know what type of expository essay it is, and it is, yes, it is the editorial. Great job, students. Our last question, which type of expository essay would you write if you wanted to discuss Dory's character? And I know you have it. Indeed, it is the character portrayal essay. Great job. Give yourself a thumbs up or a pat on the back. I know that you got the answers right and that you did well. Let us continue with activity 2. This activity is a bit longer as we are now practicing the skill even further. What we're going to do, we're going to look at a passage and you're going to be able to state the type of expository essay the passage is. And as we're going, you're going to explain what led you to that conclusion. Remember, students, we are critical thinkers. So we're not just going to find the answer, we're going to critically go through the process of how we find that answer, and you're going to show that to me as we highlight some text. Okay, we're going to do the first one together, and our first passage is Her Rabbit. As a central character in many African tales, Barabi is a clever rabbit whose stories travels to the Caribbean aboard slave ships. Though portrayed as a rabbit or human, Barabi's character always gets the last laugh. Barabi is known for being intelligent, as he outsmarts foes and friends alike. In the story, The Master Trickster by Patricia Glinton, the sly Barabi steals a barn full of eggs and runs away, while his greedy counterpart, Babuki, gets punished severely by the farmer and his son. Okay, we have our piece of writing. Now let's go through and see what clues we have here to tell us which type of expository essay this is. Our first clue, we see the word character. And this clue word tells us what type of essay it is. Let's continue to look and see if we see any more clues. We see the word clever. We know that this is an adjective. This is our trait word, which also gives us a clue as to which type of essay this is. Next, we see another trait word, the word sly. So when we put all of these clues together, we have come to the conclusion that this type of essay is the character portrayal essay. Great job, students. Now we're going to practice again with another passage. Okay, students, now it is your turn. You are going to pause me, then you are going to read the passage, determine which type of expository essay is being used, and find evidence to support your decision. You're going to pause me right now. Don't worry, I don't mind at all. And you're going to complete this independently. After you're done, you're going to press play and you're going to evaluate whether or not you are correct, on the right track, or completely off. Pause me now. Okay, now we are back to discuss Marcy and Obi. Although I raised Marcy and Obi from puppies, they have completely diverse personalities. Obi is a 6-year-old male toy Pomeranian, whereas Marcy is a 1-year-old female Boston Terrier. Obi is small and soft, unlike Marcy, who has bristly hair and is much bigger. Marcy insists on sleeping on the bed under the covers every night. On the other hand, Obi will only sleep on the floor under the bed. Obi is tremendously loyal and uptight, however. Marcy is hyper and friendly to anyone she meets or sees. Around other dogs, Marcy cowers at the larger dog, while Obi always stands his ground, never giving up until he is scolded. Given that they were both treated the same all their lives, it is hard to believe that they are so different in everything they do. Okay, so let's look through the passage for some clues to help us determine which type of expository essay this is. Now, the first clue we see is the transition word, our clue word, whereas. Let's look for our other clue. We have a transitional phrase here. On the other hand, all of these clues are leading us to the type of essay that we see here. Our final clue is the word different. This is our clue word, and when we put these clues together, we determine that the passage Marcy and Obi is our compare/contrast essay. Great job, students. Okay, we're going to move on to one more passage that you're going to complete independently. You're going to pause me again, read the passage, look at the clues, determine what type of expository essay it is, and then you will press play again. Welcome back. How to make conch salad. And I know some of you already knew the type of expository essay this was, just looking at the topic. But let's continue to read. Conch salad is a popular Bahamian dish that can be enjoyed separately or along with a meal as an appetizer. Firstly, slice the thin side of the conch meat from the trunk and cut it into a 1/4-inch dice. Then slice the trunk into strips. Cut the strips in half and cut into a 1/4-inch dice. Next, place the conch, there should be about 3 cups, in a large glass bowl. Finally, add the citrus juices, onion, tomato, bell pepper, and salt, and toss to combine. The conch salad may be eaten immediately or refrigerated for later consumption. Enjoy! So, what type of expository essay is this? For we answer, we must defend our choice. So let us look for our clues. We see the transitional word firstly as a clue word. We see another transitional word next as a clue word. Finally, we see the transitional word finally as a clue word. So putting all of these together, the conclusion that we can draw, the answer that we have is this topic is our how-to essay. Great job, students. You are working so well. Now, we are going to do a review. The purpose of the review is just to make sure that I kept my side of the bargain and you are able to complete these 4 skills that I promised you would be able to at the beginning of the lesson in our objectives. So we're going to look at our questions. What does the term exposition mean? And I'm certain you have your answers. I'm listening for the answers. I hear you, and you are correct. The term exposition means to explain. Now, what are the types of expository essays? I want you to shout it out. I'm talking to you just like you're talking to me. Let's see if you got it right. The types of expository essays are how to, compare and contrast, explain an idea or belief, character portrayal, and editorial. Next, we have number 3. What are the characteristics of each expository essay? I'm going to give you a few more seconds to answer. I can hear you answering because this is a long question. Now let's go. We have the how-to essay that explains how something is made or how something is done. The compare and contrast essay, which tells us how 2 things are alike and or different. The explain an idea essay that explains a belief or a theory. The character portrayal essay examines the character traits of a particular person. And the editorial essay explores a current issue and gives solutions to solve the problem. Way to go, students. We have one more question to answer in our review. How is the expository essay different from other essays? The expository essay does not tell a story or seek to persuade the reader. Great job, students. I would like you to know how these questions were answered. Remember, when you're answering questions, you answer in complete sentences with a capital letter and your full stop with the answer in between. Now, we have reached the end of our lesson. We are so grateful that you stayed with us the entire time as we aim to help you understand expository essays even better. If there were some parts that you did not understand, you are free to go back, rewind it, go to where you didn't understand, try the activities again until you do get the understanding. Now, students, we have reached the end of our lesson. And we hope that you have gained some knowledge during the course of this video. Now, if there are some things that you did not understand, please rewind, go back, look at the definitions, look at the examples, try the activities again until you have a clearer knowledge of the topic of expository essays. Mrs. Lloyd and I were very pleased to be your teachers. Now we're going to be leaving you all as we move from our digital world to our boring world of reality in our classrooms. Thank you once again for coming. Take care until we see you all again.